He made bald head look cool.
I saved mine at 18, I think.
Just trying to get on that too. Like, I did it after the fact. Caught that little. No, I had the Aaron Hall thing going at first with the fade jump. Yeah, so I kept it popping. Then I eventually did that murder one.
Yeah.
All right. So
I can't stand you. Full head of hair.
Oh man, I got straight chemo. So Kels go and we going through the mall. So we go to the Foot Locker. And I remember him picking up a pair of Jordans. He was like, damn, he just long. And see him putting I'm like, man, these niggas ain't got no money.
He wasn't caked up off of
No. The song was hidden and missing. So they on a promo tour.
Yeah. So it was like his first deal too. So
it was the first deal. It was the public announcement deal. Yeah. So it was the first deal. Definitely had Honey Love on there, and he had some joints on that joint though for real. They had a good solid first album. So they like, man, we need to. I said, I'm going to the record store. Yeah, go to the record store. So of course they don't know where nothing is. So I'm going through that. I said, man, you want to go in and sing? He said, man, I said, let's sell some records today. Right. They're like, how can we sell some records? I said, stay out here. I got something in mind. So I go into the record store, Coconuts. So I go into the record store and I go there. I'm like, y'all got that public announcement? I can't public announcement. Like, yeah, it's over there. So they, they ain't trying to push it.
They ain't excited.
In the store, it ain't nothing that nobody really coming looking for. Yeah. So I go into the store, pick up the album. I'm like, they just selling. They like, well, nah. I said, I know, dude. They like, for real? Like, yeah, I can get him to come here and sing. Him? I'm like, yeah. I said, hold on. So I go out the store. Go out there, tell them, come on in. So they come in, they like, damn, that is him. So they look at the album. So he sits on the counter. He get up on the counter, so he's singing. Starts singing live in the store. Sounds just like they're like, damn, that is him. Oh my God. So then the girls started coming to the store. When they came in the store, people started coming. He was doing this. They sold every cassette, every album in the store.
I know they did, bro.
Right. Then we go to the next record store. Do it again. Same thing. Went to it was like 3 record stores. It was in the Pop Tunes, I think. Was it Pop Tunes?
Pop Tunes.
Yeah. So we go to all the record stores in the mall. Sell out. The whole mall. By this time, the whole mall chasing him. Right. Police like, y'all gotta go. Yeah. So he's getting mobbed. We getting mobbed, and they So I'm like, yeah. I do the promotion for him. So they wait. I stay here for real. So I'm trying to catch a gas on the low. So they gonna try to get in any way they can, right?
Especially at that age too.
Yeah. So I was 19.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna say start the tour.
Don't you put that on Big C.
It say you started on Big C. You started the tour though.
It ain't my fault. Hey, I ain't had nothing to do with that.
R. Kelly, how to promote to young girls.
Good job. No. Buyers of records. So we go to the next mall, do the same thing. We go to the next mall, do the same thing. So at the same time, because he got a show that night. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this is also then they give me a stack of free tickets. Yeah. They give me free tickets with it. They get free promo tickets. So I had tickets. I'll give them a couple of tickets out to the night. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be there tonight, baby. Ooh. Yeah. I'm let you get backstage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I took over a whole position. Yeah. So they fell back, like let them do whatever they're gonna do. Right. So we go to the Raleigh Mall, we go to Southland Mall, we go to the Pop Tune store, we go to we never had a Tower Records, but we had something like a Tower Records.
We had Turtles,
I think we had the Turtles. Yeah. We had Cats. Cats
Records.
Yeah, we had Cats Records. And I made a lot of money with Cats Records. So and we go to Cats Records. So we go to all the stores in there. So it ain't no, they ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? So we go eat. We go to Wendy's. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Cause they on per diem. Right. So you first coming out, you ain't got they got you on the per diem. But like now it's different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So. But that night they did a show downtown. It sold out or whatever. So they like, man, we need you to go with us. I'm like, man, I gotta go to work tomorrow, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mama had co-signed for me with that damn escort I had. Yeah. So I'm like, I get that car no pay. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't no missing days off from work. Right. But the fact that that's when I knew. I said, "Boy, you got a slick little gift right here. This is
You
a little
smart.
move."
You a smart dude. You a
Yeah,
smart dude. You know how to
appreciate it.
put yourself in position to get paid.
So I went head on, and I had got the information or whatever. So I told them, "No, there's some cities around, or whatever I can get out there to, I go ahead and do." So that's when I got my little bug in the music. I'm like, man, this ain't nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just thought of that on the fly. But the whole, like, people don't know when how sound scans work. Once you start selling records, and you sell out at every record store in Memphis, and
Get somebody's
so
attention.
yeah, so they call them the labor head.
Right.
So they call them the labor head people. So then they like, man, this right here is boom 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 boom. But that was my little incident, with
Personal
K. Yeah,
introduction
first
to
little
it.
intro.
Marketing.
So when he came back, when he left public announcement or whatever, no, I couldn't even. Nobody could even give me a close to him or nothing because he was at that point. He was on the moon.
So that's probably around the time where this story kind of kicked off. So to kind of update y'all, or not even update, to put y'all up on game of what allegedly happened, right? So allegedly he was in Orlando, Florida, with his road manager slash driver, and they were at a show down in Florida with a man named Demetrius Smith. And before R. Kelly goes on stage to do the show, which I think it was like a three days, and he had like a couple shows each night. So on the first day, before he goes on stage, he goes and tells Demetrius Smith, "Hey, we got to get back to Chicago. Something's going on with Aaliyah." And then he goes on to the show. So while he's doing the show, Demetrius is, running around trying to figure out how they're gonna get back to Chicago, booking flights and all that stuff, not really even knowing why they got to go back. So he says, this is from Demetrius Smith's testimony. This is his testimony in court.
Okay.
That after R. Kelly got off the stage, they then head out to the airport, and then when they get on the plane, it's the first time that he hear why they're heading back to Chicago uh, for Aaliyah, and it's because she's suspected to be pregnant, right?
Oh,
So
man.
this
That's
at the
crazy.
time, R. Kelly's manager was Barry Hankerson, which was Aaliyah's uncle. So that's how the introduction happened to Aaliyah in the first place. Barry Hankerson hit R. Kelly up like, "Hey, I got this. I got my niece. I think she's got some talent." According to Demetrius Smith, him and R. Kelly both went to Detroit at that point, and to personally meet Aaliyah. They drove up to personally meet Aaliyah and her family. She sung for R. Kelly like in the living room. He liked it, thought she had something, and immediately started writing songs for her. And then they started dating and fooling around, and then she got pregnant, which is why he supposedly married her to protect himself from getting her pregnant, getting her minor pregnant. That if she's his wife, then she can't testify against him and all that type of stuff, right? But I'm actually about to get into the actual court documents. So what I'm about to read is from the closing arguments of the New York trial for the prosecutor. Okay, this is dealing with count one, the racketeering, count one, and so there's five different elements to count one, and the one that's containing Aaliyah is the fifth and final element. So I'm gonna start there. All right. So this is the words of the prosecutor. These are the actual transcripts from the court. This is the words of the prosecutor.
Still, everybody we saying is allegedly for entertainment purpose, though. Y'all
And
know
so
how
yeah,
it go.
these are the actual words of the prosecutor. So if somebody get in trouble for it, it ain't us,
Right.
because this is the prosecutor. This is on court. This is the court stenographer. These are the court documents. Okay. So it reads, and that brings us to the fifth and final element of racketeering. The defendant's participation in a pattern of racketeering. And in order to find that the defendant participated in the pattern of racketeering activity, you have to find that he committed two of the 14 racketeering acts that are alleged in this case. And as we go through evidence this afternoon, you will see that for each racketeering act, the defendant either committed the act itself or commanded it. He had another person make it happen. And under the law, even if you don't personally commit a crime, if you command it or you help it in some respect with the intent of making it happen, then that's the same as committing it yourself. Now, you have to unanimously agree on the particular facts of any of those racketeering acts. And you have to find that the last act that was committed was within 10 years of the prior act. And I submit that you are going to find that all of the 14 racketeering acts have been proven, not just two. You also have to find that those racketeering acts have a nexus. That just means that they're connected to the enterprise and are related. And we'll talk about those requirements as to each of the racketeering acts when you go through them in depth. But both requirements are easily met in this case because the defendant was also able to meet the acts because of his position as a leader in the enterprise. And because of the defendant's position in the enterprise that helped him commit these acts, he committed. There we go. And so either of those two factors would satisfy those requirements, and we've talked about that already. Now, finally, you have to find that the racketeering acts occurred over a substantial period of time, and that there was the threat of continued criminal activity. And I don't think that there can be a dispute about that. The racketeering acts in this case have been spanned more than 2 decades, more than 25 years, and there was no sign that the defendant or his inner circle had any intention of stopping. So what they're talking about racketeering is the fact.
Explain to us what racketeering is.
Yeah, okay. So in this case, what they're talking about the racketeering is how which we're gonna get to that part in a minute, but basically how he allegedly bribed government officials to get Aaliyah a fake ID in order to marry her.
That's crazy.
So that's what this is spelling out, and it's about to get to the basically the meat of it. So he just setting up what he's about to talk to them about, right? So here we go. One last note before we start talking about individual racketeering acts. While the government has to and embraces proving the existence of the enterprise and all of the other elements that I described, it does not need to prove that the enterprise itself or its members acted with criminal intent. Although some certainly, and as I explained, did. But the government just has to establish that the defendant, Robert Kelly, that he acted with the required criminal intent. And you know that he did over and over again. The defendant relied on his inner circle, the enterprise, to carry out his pattern of crimes. And his inner circle, those individuals, they were a means to his criminal ends. I want to turn now to Racketeering Act number 1. This Racketeering Act is the bribe of the defendant, uh, Demetrius Smith, had to pay to an employee of the Illinois Department of Public Aid to obtain a fake ID